Welcome to this deep dive into one of the most famous, yet often misunderstood, metrics in statistics, R-squared, also known as the coefficient of determination. Today, we aren't just going to look at dry formulas. We are going to visualize exactly what R-squared represents by drawing squares on a graph. Imagine you are a real estate analyst trying to understand why some houses cost more than others. Statistics is your flashlight in the dark, and R-squared is the measure of how much light that flashlight actually provides. Let's start with a practical scenario. Suppose we have data on house prices based on their size in square feet. If we had no information about the size, and someone asked us to predict the price of a random house, our best statistical guess would be the average price of all houses. This horizontal line represents the mean, or y-bar. The distance from each data point to this mean line represents the total variation in our data. In statistics, we square these distances to create areas, the sum of squares total, or SST. This is the uncertainty we start with. Now we introduce a model. We notice that as square footage increases, price tends to increase. We fit a line of best fit, or a linear regression line. This line represents our attempt to explain the variation in prices using the house's size. The goal of any model is to reduce the distance between our predictions and the actual data points. If the line is closer to the points than the mean was, we are making progress. But the model isn't perfect. There is still a distance between the actual data points and our regression line. These distances are called residuals, or errors. Just like before, we square these distances to visualize the unexplained variation. This is the sum of squares residuals, or SSR. If these squares are small, it means our line is very close to the data points. If they are large, our model is doing a poor job of capturing the trend. Now, here is the magic of R-squared. R-squared is the proportion of the total variation, SST, that is captured and explained by our model. Think of it as a percentage. If SST represents 100% of the movement in house prices, we want to know how much of that movement is accounted for by the size of the house. We calculate this by looking at how much the residuals, SSR, have shrunk compared to the original variation, SST. Mathematically, the formula is R-squared equals 1 minus SSR over SST. If our model is perfect and hits every single point, SSR becomes 0 and R-squared equals 1, or 100%. If our model is no better than just guessing the average, SSR will equal SST, and R-squared will be 0. Most real-world models fall somewhere in between, like 0.75, meaning 75% of the variance is explained. It is crucial to understand that a high R-squared doesn't always mean your model is good in a causal sense. For example, in the stock market, you might see an R-squared of 0.9, but that could be due to overfitting, where the model follows the noise instead of the signal. In social sciences, an R-squared of 0.3 might be considered excellent because human behavior is inherently unpredictable. Context is everything in statistics. Furthermore, adding more variables, like the number of bathrooms or the age of the house, will almost always increase R-squared, even if those variables are useless. This is why professional statisticians use adjusted R-squared, which penalizes the model for adding unnecessary complexity. It ensures that we only celebrate an improvement if the new variable actually adds significant predictive power. In conclusion, R-squared is a visual ratio of areas. It compares the square of errors from our model to the square of errors from a simple average. Next time you see an R-squared value, don't just think of a number. Think of those squares shrinking as your model gets smarter. Mastering this visualization is the first step toward true statistical literacy. Thank you for joining this visual journey through the math of R-squared. References: 1. Gujarati D9, Basic Economics. 2. John E. Friend, Mathematical Statistics. 3. Wooldridge J., Introductory Economics, A Modern Approach.